धारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज शिल गुरुदेव की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शुतर शुत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत शिल गोरक्षोदास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट शिव सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिव जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौड़िय गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम जय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल कोरमंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी माय की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र जू की जय। जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव स्नान यात्रा की जय। जय श्री श्रीधर पंडित की जय। श्री खोला-वecā श्रीधर की जय। तो दिया शुभ थिरुभाव तिथि की जय। जय श्री मुकुंद दत्त की जय। तो दिया शुभ थिरुभाव तिथि की जय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। जय श्री चैतन्य चरितमृत की जय। श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोसाई पाठ की जय। जय श्री सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। स्वपार्षद श्री गौर हरि की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रीनिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll do the Mangalacharan and then begin. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ। नमस्त्रिकालसत्याय जगन्नाथसुताय च सभृत्याय सपुत्राय सकलत्राय ते नमः। जय 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 विश्वम्भर द्विजराज जय विश्वम्भर प्रिय वैष्णव समाज। Gaura Chandra Jai Dharma Setu Mahadhir Jaya Sankirtana Moy Sundar Sharir Jai Nityanandir Bandhava Dhana Pran Jai Gadadhar Advaiter Prema Dham Jai Shri Jagadananda Priya Atishay Jai Bakreshwar Kashishwarer Hridoy Jai Jai Shiva Sari Priya Varganath Jiva Prati Koro Prabhu Shubha Drishtipat Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvang Nayamam Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Kshiptashtakama Madhye Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. One second. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees, Sarveshwari Mataji, Nitai Mukeshji, and Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarini Mataji. Dandavat pranams. It's missing you guys yesterday. So Dandavat pranams. And on YouTube and Facebook, it looks like nobody's there on YouTube or Facebook. Interesting. Usually there's a few people by now. Anyhow, pranams to all devotees watching in the future also, I'm guessing Indira Mataji and Raseshwari Mataji will be watching later on. And also Shachi Devi, Jai Dev Prabhu, Revati Didi, Dandvat pranams, everybody. Maybe Krishnamaya Didi, I don't know. All right. So today is a very auspicious day. It is the Snan Yatra Purnima of Jagannath Dev, Jagannath Dev, Baladev, and Subhadra. And so this is another rare time when foreigners like me get to have Jagannath's darshan. And how many parts? And maybe we can read a little something from Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj about Snan Yatra. And also today is the disappearance day of Śrīdhara Paṇḍita and also of Mukunda Datta Thakur. So I thought recently I've made 3 posts, and I'm going to make a 4th post today on my website, vineofdevotion.com. I translated 3 different parts of Haribol Mohini Didi and Krishnamaya Didi Haribol. Yeah, so I translated 3 different parts from Caitanya-bhāgavata for my website, Vine of Devotion. So what we're reading now, you can find it all on my website. Yeah, let me just open up my website here. And I'm going to be sending out the last part of this series today. Yeah, and if we get time, maybe we can read about Mukunda Datta also from, where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so yeah, just type in vineofdevotion.com. And when you go here, then just scroll down and you'll see here, Mahāprabhu's love for the unseen devotee, part 1, part 2, and part 3. And part 4, as I mentioned, will be coming out later today. But we'll also read part 4. I haven't finished preparing it, but. Okay, in this one, I wrote a little something. I'm not sure if I should read what I wrote. I think I'll read it. Yeah. Okay. So, 1 second. Okay. To most of the inhabitants of Navadvip at that time, Khola-vecā Śrīdhara was no one special or noteworthy, just another poor, forgettable banana leaf vendor, a Khola-vecā. He didn't even have his own banana trees. He would buy different parts of the trees, the stem, flowers, bananas, and leaves, and resell them. So there definitely was no shortage of banana trees in tropical Bengal. So you can imagine how meager his earnings were. Yet Mahaprabhu would make his way out to visit Śrīdhara, who lived about 3.5 kilometers from his home, and playfully haggle with him over his banana products. So that's kind of it. I found it on Google Maps. Like you can see. So this is Yoga Pit right here. And then 3.5 kilometers or 2.1 miles. That's the distance it takes to walk to Śrīdhara Khola-vecā Śrīdhara Angan, right there. Oops. So yeah, below is a loose translation of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, Ādi-khaṇḍa, chapter 12, verses 178 to 213, illustrating this sweet pastime. The Lord was exceedingly pleased with Śrīdhara, and he would often find excuses to visit his simple home. Engaging in witty exchanges and playful arguments with Śrīdhara, the Lord would spend 2 to 4 dandas. And so that would equal around, because 1 danda is 24 minutes, so 2 to 4 dandas is 48 to 96 minutes. So that's quite a long time. So the Lord would spend, nearly an hour and a half sometimes in great joy, engaging in these witty exchanges and playful arguments with Śrīdhara before moving on. Seeing the Lord, Śrīdhara offered his obeisances and respectfully provided him a seat. Śrīdhara was supremely peaceful and composed. Yet the Lord would delight in playfully sporting with him, acting as if most impudent and aggressive. I think the word used was udatta. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, I think it's udatta. The Lord said, Śrīdhara, you constantly chant. This is young, Nimai Pandit. So, yeah. So the Lord said, Śrīdhara, you constantly chant Hari Hari. So why do you still experience such suffering and hardship? You serve Lakshmi-kanta, the husband of the goddess of fortune. Yet why do you suffer for lack of food and clothing? Tell me, I want to hear what you have to say. Okay, so this is, like Nimai Pandit. This is when he was still in his boyhood pastimes and debating everybody and like that. So this is before he became Bhabuk Nimai, the devotee Nimai was. So Śrīdhara replied, I do not go starving, and whether my garments are large or small and whether my garments are large or small and tattered, I'm at least able to wear something. The Lord said, but I've noticed how your cloth is tied in 10 places. And tell me, where is the straw on your hut, on your hole-filled roof? I see none. Just see how the other townspeople who worship Chandi and Vishahari, they do not have any scarcity of sumptuous meals or clothes at home. Śrīdhara humbly responded, O respected Brahman, your words are true, yet still time moves equally for all. The king has jewels in his palace and eats luxurious meals, while birds dwell above in the trees. But in the end, time is equal for all, and each person experiences the results of their own actions according to the will of Bhagavan. The Lord said, you actually have great wealth, which you're secretly hoarding and enjoying. One day, I will expose everything. Let's see then how you explain yourself and cheat the people. Śrīdhara sighed. Oh, Pandit, please go home. It is not proper for us to quarrel like this. But Mahāprabhu would not relent. He said, I'm not leaving just like that. Tell me now, what will you give me? Śrīdhara replied, I sell banana leaves for a living. Tell me, what can I possibly give you, O Goshai? The Lord said, keep your hidden treasure where it is for now. I will take that later. But now, just give me bananas, banana flowers, and banana stalks free of charge. If you do that, I won't argue with you anymore. Śrīdhara thought, this Brahmin is so stubborn and aggressive. What if one day he actually beats me? Even if he does, what can I do? But I cannot continue supplying him daily like this free of charge. Nevertheless, whatever this Brahmin takes by force or trick, it is my fortune, because a Brahmin is the representative of the Supreme Lord. So I'll be prepared to give him every day. Resolving this in his heart, Śrīdhara said, listen, Goshai, I ask nothing from you. Take all the banana stems, bananas, banana flowers, and banana leaves you like. Just don't argue with me anymore. The Lord beamed. The Lord beamed. Excellent, excellent. Bhalo. No more quarrels. But make sure I get the very best bananas and banana stalks. In this way, the Lord would daily eat off of Śrīdhara's banana leaves, and his meals included the banana stems, bananas, and banana flowers Śrīdhara provided. Whenever a lau, that's a bottle gourd, in Hindi it's loki, so whenever a lau grew on Śrīdhara's vine, the Lord would eat it, cooked with milk and black pepper. It's called loki or something? I think so. The Lord asked, Śrīdhara, what do you think of me? Tell me, and I'll go home. Śrīdhara replied, you are a Brahmin, a portion of Lord Vishnu. The Lord said, you do not understand. I am from a cowherd family. You see me as a Brahman's son, but I consider myself a simple cowherd boy. Hearing this, Śrīdhara laughed at the Lord's words, not recognizing the cherished Lord of his heart due to the influence of Yoga Maya. And who is the cherished Lord of his heart? It's Gopal, right? Because Śrīdhara Pandit in Krishna Lila is Kusuma Savasaka. We're going to read, well, maybe we should just look at this now. This is, okay, let me just find Śrīdhara Pandit. This is from Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj's book, Śrī Caitanya and His Associates. So one of the 12 Gopals in Krishna Lila is named Kusuma Sava. He appeared in Gaur Lila as Śrīdhara Pandit. And there's this verse from Gaur Ganodashtipika. It says, Khola-vecā taya khyata Paṇḍita Śrīdhara dvija asir vraje hasya karo yo namna Kusuma Sava. The cowherd boy named Kusuma Sava, who joked with Lord Krishna and made him laugh in Vrajabhumi, appeared in Lord Gauranga's pastimes as the learned Brahmin named Khola-vecā, says bark seller Śrīdhara. So that's Gaur Ganodashtipika 133. So Kusuma Savasaka is the Krishna's friend who'd make him laugh. He'd make Krishna laugh. So you see me as a Brahmin son, but I consider myself a simple cowherd boy. So Śrīdhara laughed at the Lord's words, not recognizing the cherished Lord of his heart due to the influence of Yoga Maya. The Lord then said, Śrīdhara, let me tell you the truth. All the glories of your Ganga originate from me. Śrīdhara replied, Nimai Pandit, have you no fear speaking like this about Mother Ganga, the destroyer of sins? As people grow older, they usually become more calm and composed. but your restlessness only seems to double. In this way, Gauranga Sri Hari delighted in playful exchanges with Śrīdhara before returning to his own home. Okay, so I'm not sure. I'm just going to read it. This is what I wrote on my post afterwards. So yeah, this is just the words of a very conditioned soul. But the hidden Vaishnava. Through countless pastimes like this, Mahāprabhu showed that he cares nothing for one's high status and accomplishments. The devotees he sought out, for whom he'd sometimes travel very far to see, and with whom he engaged in the most intimate, carefree, sweet pastimes, were often those whom the world overlooked, the hidden Vaishnavas. Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata Madhya 9:145 states, Khola-vecā Gyan kori keho na chinoy. No one recognized Śrīdhara Paṇḍita, as they considered him merely an ordinary banana leaf seller. It makes me wonder how many simple nobodies I've walked past, never giving a second thought, yet they might be the ones cultivating the deepest relationships with Guru and Gauranga. And I'd never know, because outwardly, there's nothing flashy about them. I remember actually when I wrote this, that morning I went to Yoga Pit, and there were lots of devotees in the Nrsingadev and the Gaur-Gadadhar temple. And I remember I was just sitting there, and that thought came to my mind. There's so many devotees there, and I don't really think much of anybody there. But very likely, very possible, there's some very, very high level advanced Vaishnavas just sitting there. I just walk past them and not even give a second thought, I just forget about them. And how many people, how many amazing Vaishnavas do we just walk past like that? The quiet devotee. In a small Chinese village, this was in 2006. I traveled with Damodar Maharaj for 1.5 months. Oh, for 1 month, and then I was there by myself for 2 weeks. And we're going to so many different places, and this is in a very rural village in China. So there, I remember seeing an old grandma. She was as simple as they come, not particularly educated in our philosophy, too frail to move much, barely speaking with anyone. She hadn't had the years of association with devotees that many of us have been blessed with. But all she knew was the Maha Mantra. And pretty much all she did from morning till night was quietly chant in a sweetly mispronounced Chinese accent, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And because she hardly spoke or saw much, I have a strong feeling she never criticized any Vaishnavas. And as we'll see in the next section of Caitanya-bhāgavata we'll read, he goes into depth about criticizing Vaishnavas in the context of Śrīdhara Paṇḍita. So, remembering this is making me reflect. One may have produced many books, spent years in the mutt or in the dham, attended countless parikramas and festivals, served many Vaishnavas, rolled countless chapatis, peeled thousands of potatoes. Yet what does it all amount to if the motivation was mostly to impress others? Or worse, if offenses were made to dear devotees along the way? Of what real value is one's chanting of Harinam if it is rushed through mindlessly just to complete the daily count and to move on to the thing one actually wants to do? All the while, that simple old Chinese grandma, who no one knows about, is miles away from the dham or any temple, yet possibly miles ahead in bhakti. Who knows how far along she is with her simple heart and sincere faith, chanting, chanting, chanting. In her simplicity and innocence, who knows how Krishna is reciprocating with that sincere, offenseless calling out to him? What amazing situation might he be arranging for her in her next birth? A drop of selfless, heartfelt service outweighs mountains of selfishly motivated service. Krishna looks not at the grandeur of our actions, but at the simplicity and sincerity behind them. To conclude, I'll share a passage from my Param Gurudev, where he recounts how Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada revealed that sincere, humble service from the heart often carries far greater significance than what appears to be grand, impressive contributions to the world. So yeah, now this is from the article from the book. We published a book, Kruti Ratna, and there's an article in it, A True Experience of Separation. So this is a excerpt from that. What qualities endear one to Srila Prabhupada? And Param Gurudev spoke this on Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's disappearance day. So he says, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada had a sannyasi disciple, his name is Bhakti Vilas, who is no longer present. We never observed him displaying any worldly skill in his life. Some of his peers, high-status sannyasi teachers and speakers, cast aspersions on its apparent inactivity a couple of times. Srila Prabhupada, roaring like a lion, strongly corrected them. I am a big orator. I am a very good instructor. I can captivate everyone with my classes and speeches. I have so much capability. So many people are coming to the mat due to my lectures. I am therefore a prominent and dear disciple. Srila Prabhupada never considered those with such a mentality to be exalted servants. The aptitude for bhakti is something else. It is only attained by extreme good fortune. In observing the life and conduct of Srila Prabhupada, we saw several seemingly contradictory incidents. We saw that someone conversant in all the scriptures, adored by scholars, and the veritable son of philosophical truths, had accepted a completely illiterate personality as his guru. We worship Prabhupada as the personification of the divine message. He's the personification of the Vani. Yet, when one of the main assistants in his Vani Vilas Lila, in his preaching pastimes, his pastimes of spreading this Vani, so one of his main assistants in this Vani Vilas Lila, a particularly bright writer, when that main assistant was overwhelmed by a weakness of heart and suddenly left the mat to go to Dhaka, Prabhupada was not in the least perturbed. I think that's referring to Sundarananda Vidya Vinod. On the other hand, he had become extremely anxious if one of his servants, whose name was Panchanana, and who happened to be illiterate, went out of his sight for even a moment. This seems quite startling and perplexing. And the original Bengali, these words were in English also, like he actually said these words in English. So this seems quite startling and perplexing. But in reality, it is not, even slightly. These interactions reveal the full current of the nature of bhakti. Unlimitedly greater than service to Srila Prabhupada by moving a pen, which brought about a revolution in the world, is the service propensity of an illiterate person's heartfelt affection for him. The root fiber of the aptitude for bhakti is attachment to the lotus feet of Sri Guru. This fills me with hope. Actually, so now this is me again. So this fills me with hope because this pure and sincere tendency to serve Krishna is the intrinsic nature of us tiny jivas. It is what we are made to do. It's not something far away or foreign to us. Nothing could be more natural for us. And we have all the help from our Guru Varga one could ever hope for to reestablish ourselves in that eternal function. In the next post, we will take a look at my all-time favorite section of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, which offers an even more detailed portrayal of Khola-vecā Śrīdhara's simplicity and love, as well as Mahāprabhu's abundant affection for him. Okay, so then part 2 is here, Mahāprabhu's love for the unseen devotee, part 2. But just that point that Param Gurudev is making is so important. That really, it's the outcome of service doesn't matter. Yeah, the outcome of service doesn't matter. So if somebody is very successful in their service and they manage to open up a temple which makes lots of devotees, if they do some huge service that has a huge effect that really helps spread the mission in a huge way, there's actually no glory in that for the person, because that person's being used as an instrument for some purpose. But I gave this example sometime before. I'm not sure if it's a good example, but like I was just thinking of the pilot who, like in 1996, was it in May 1996? It's the first time my Gurudev ever went outside of India, and he went on a plane to Holland. And so that was a pretty like monumental, like that was a huge thing for the first time ever. Srila Gurudev is going to the West. Or also Srila Prabhupada for the first time when he went on the Jaladuta. That's a huge deal. Like a huge deal. The first time Krishna consciousness is ever being spread in the West. And so there are the people who made that possible. Like there's the person who is driving the boat. And there's the pilot of the plane that brought my Gurudev to Holland. And so they were an instrument to accomplish an amazing thing. But does all the glory go to them? Like, am I going to all of a sudden fall at the feet of the pilot because the outcome of his service was bringing Gurudev to the West for the first time? No, he was just an instrument used for the service. So, I mean, thanks, great, wow, wonderful. But I'm not going to like all of a sudden like worship his feet now. And so whatever big service that's accomplished, that's not the thing that matters. The glory doesn't go to the person who did the service. He's just an instrument. But the thing that matters is the mood that we do the service with how much love and affection and mamata, possessiveness, and wanting to do it only for the pleasure of Sri Guru. That's what matters. And so somebody peeling potatoes, the outcome of that, like that service of just a simple thing, peeling some potatoes, if they're doing it with love and they feel like Gurudev's happy with me engaging in this service, like they're doing it like that, then that simple service is far superior to some person who manages to make hundreds of devotees. If that person wasn't doing it, if they were doing it with any ulterior motives, or it wasn't just solely for the pleasure of Sri Guru. And so that was the points that Srila Bhaktivedanta Keshav Goswami Maharaj Param Gurudev was making in that article. Yeah. Okay. Haribo Vidyalala Sadidi. And and Hare Krishna Pankaj Navaprabhu. Haribo. Okay, so now continuing on. So here's a prelude. In the home of Srivas Pandit in Navadvip, Sri Gauranga Mahāprabhu entered an extraordinary state of divine ecstasy known as Sat Prahariya Bhav, the 21-hour ecstasy. No longer concealing his divinity, he ascended the throne of Vishnu and revealed himself as the Lord of Vaikuntha, the ultimate object of worship. Amidst the jubilant kirtan and the Vedic mantra recitations of the assembled Vaishnavas, he was bathed, adorned, and worshipped with great devotion, accepting their heartfelt offerings of tulsi, flowers, food, and prayers. One by one, he revealed his omniscience, fulfilled the deepest desires of his devotees, and embraced them with deep affection. It is in this atmosphere that the story begins, as the Lord turns his compassionate gaze towards one particularly humble soul. The following is a loose translation of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, Madhya-khaṇḍa, chapter 9, verses 124 to 248. And in Caitanya-bhāgavata, it's so dramatic, this part, because you like throughout the whole Ādi-khaṇḍa, you've just been reading all about Mahaprabhu's childhood pastimes, and nobody recognizes who Mahaprabhu is. Only like a couple people, and Mahaprabhu is so naughty, and all these pastimes. Actually, the Vaishnavas would try to avoid him because he just tried to debate them all the time, and um, although they were completely attracted to them, but still, yeah. But then all of a sudden, this is now in this eighth in this Madhya-khaṇḍa, Mahaprabhu has revealed himself to many devotees, but so many devotees, he hasn't revealed to them. He hasn't revealed himself that he's like the worshipable Lord of their heart that they've been worshiping so purely for so long, that this Nimai Pandit, who's been around forever, who's just been such a naughty child, like he's my Lord. And like, so the shock and the intensity and yeah, it's just so dramatic. And so now this pastime will be when Nimai Pandit will reveal himself to Śrīdhara Pandit, who would get in all these arguments like, okay. So thus, the whole day unfolded and drew to a close. Then evening arrived, bringing with it a feeling of great excitement. Bearing fragrant incense and glowing lamps, the assembled devotees began to perform archan of the Lord's sacred lotus feet. Conch shells, bells, karatals, small cymbals, that's mandira, and mridanga drums were played in various ways, causing diverse ecstatic moods to arise. Gaurachandra's silent majesty. Lord Gaurachandra remained seated in his full glory. He spoke nothing, simply observing whatever his devotees were doing. Remember, he's sitting on the altar in his mood of Bhagavan. So, offering various kinds of flowers upon his lotus feet, everyone cried out, "Trahi Prabhu, save us, O Lord," and fell down, offering full prostrated obeisances. Some uttered humble prayers. Others raised cries of Jai, victory, Jai, Jai. In every direction, nothing could be heard but the sounds of ecstatic weeping. Oh, what wondrous bliss manifested with the arrival of the night. Whoever entered that assembly felt as though they had stepped directly into Vaikuntha. The Lord revealed his magnificent divine opulence, his Maha Aishwarya Prakash. All his eternal servants stood before him, their palms respectfully joined. Casually resting his divine limbs upon his devotees, and extending his lotus feet amongst them, Gaura Singha, the golden lion, he blissfully engaged in his leela, full of eagerness. Shri Gaurasundar became disposed to grant blessings. All his devoted followers remained standing with folded hands in anticipation. Absorbed in the 21-hour ecstasy that Sat Prahariya Bhav, the Lord showered his genuine mercy upon every single person present. A command to find a special devotee. Mahāprabhu then gave the commands. He said, "Go quickly and bring Śrīdhara. Let him come and behold this display of my divine manifestation. Thinking of me constantly, he undergoes great distress and separation. Let him come and see me directly. Go swiftly now and bring him." The Lord instructed the devotees on how to find Śrīdhara. He said, "Go to the outskirts of Navadvip town and wait there. The person whom you hear calling out my name, grab him and bring him here." Hearing the Lord's command, some Vaishnavas ran at once and hastened swiftly towards Śrīdhara's humble home. The Khola-vecā of Navadvip. I love how Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur keeps on like jumping into the story and then jumping out to tell like some context and like that. It's so masterful how he wrote this. So now please hear some description of this Śrīdhara. He maintained his humble existence by selling products from the banana tree. He would purchase a whole banana plant at a time. So he would purchase a tree. It wasn't his own tree. Then cutting it carefully, piece by piece, He would sell the various parts, the bananas, the leaves, flowers, and the stem. From whatever little income he managed to earn during the day through this trade, he used half of it for offerings to the Ganga. The remaining half was just barely enough for his subsistence. Such is often the test faced by a true devotee of Lord Vishnu. He was supremely truthful. He was a Mahasatyavadi, like King Yudhishthir himself. Whatever price he stated for an item, he would never deviate from it, not even slightly. Now and then, a person who understood Śrīdhara's true nature and integrity would buy his goods, accepting his stated price without question. In this manner, this great soul lived in Navadvip. But considering him merely a Khola-vecā, just a seller of banana products, no one recognized who he truly was. For the entire duration of the nights, Chari Prahar, he never slept, absorbed as he was in chanting Krishna's names. He would call out Hari in a loud, sustained cry. All the atheistic people, all the Pashandis, they would complain, saying, because of Śrīdhara's loud chanting, we get no sleep at night. Our ears are splitting. That son of a farmer probably doesn't get enough rice to fill his belly. Afflicted by hunger, he stays awake all night and wails. Thus, the impious Pashandis wasted away, speaking ill, while Śrīdhara, oblivious and joyful, he simply carried on with his own devotional practices. As Śrīdhara kept calling out, Hari, deep in the night, his voice rose higher still, carried by prema. The devotees find and bring Śrīdhara. The devotees had run only halfway towards his dwelling when, stopping right where they were, they clearly heard Śrīdhara's distinctive loud call. Following the sound of his voice, the devotees proceeded, and at that very moment, they found and gently took hold of Śrīdhara. They said, come, O great soul, they urged him. Go and see the Lord. We feel blessed just by your touch. Simply hearing the name of his beloved Lord, Śrīdhara fainted. Utterly overwhelmed by ecstatic bliss, he collapsed upon the ground. Gently and carefully, the devotees lifted the unconscious Śrīdhara and carried him into the presence of Lord Vishvambar, supporting him tenderly. Seeing Śrīdhara, the Lord was deeply pleased. Come, Śrīdhara, come, he began to call out. You have worshipped me extensively, Śrīdhara. For countless lifetimes, you have laid down your very life out of prema for me. And in this lifetime too, you have served me so much. I always eat my meals off your banana leaves. Indeed, I've eaten many things that came from your hands. Have you forgotten the argumentative replies you used to give me? Nimai's playful bargaining. So now here, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, he pauses again to recount the earlier interactions the Lord referred to. So, back when the Lord was engaged in his pastimes of study, appearing like an exceedingly proud young student, he would, in that concealed identity, interact with Śrīdhara. On the pretext of haggling over banana products, he enjoyed many playful and sportive exchanges. Every day, he would go to Śrīdhara's little stall and purchase various items. He'd purchase the banana stalks, bananas, banana flowers, and banana leaves. Every day, they would argue back and forth for nearly an hour and a half before the Lord would finally purchase the goods, paying only half the quoted price. The ever-truthful Śrīdhara would quote the actual fair price, but Mahāprabhu, giving only half that amount, would snatch the items away. Śrīdhara would jump up and try to snatch the items back, leading to a tussle, a tug of war. Such was the regular commotion between the Lord and Śrīdhara Thakur. The Lord would tease, "Why, Brother Srivas,
my aesthetic friends, it appears to me that you are hoarding much treasure. Why are you snatching things right out of my hands? After all this time, do you still not realize who I am? But Śrīdhara, being deeply devoted to the Brahmanas, he would never become truly angry. Seeing the Lord's captivating face, he would ultimately let him take all the items he desired. The form of Gauranga Sundara was so enchanting, it bewildered even Madan, even Cupid. On his forehead, the captivating vertical Vaishnav tilak shines brilliantly. His dhoti was beautifully worn in the Trikacha style, that means tucked in 3 places, and his curling locks of hair glistened. His nature and his 2 eyes were supremely restless, chanchal. His nature and his eyes were chanchal. A white sacred thread, Lord Anantadev himself in a subtle form, gracefully encircled his divine body. With lips reddish from chewing betel nut, he smiled as he glanced toward Śrīdhara. Once more, he personally picked up the banana products he desired. Śrīdhara then said, "Listen, O Brahman Thakur, please forgive me. I am simply your dog." The Lord retorted playfully. He said, "Oh, I know you are extremely clever. You must have amassed abundant wealth from selling these banana leaves." "Are there no other market stalls available?" Śrīdhara retorted. "Go there and buy your banana leaves cheaper then." Mahāprabhu replied, "I won't give up my supplier. Just give me the banana stock and bananas and take the payment." Seeing the Lord's captivating form, Śrīdhara became enchanted and simply smiled, while Vishvambar, with great delight, would shower him with playful abuses. Every day you buy items just to offer to the Ganga," the Lord said. "So why not give me something too, free of charge? You give it to the Ganga free of charge. Why don't you give anything to me free of charge? The very Ganga whom you worship so devotedly, I am her father. I am telling you the absolute truth." Covering his ears, Śrīdhara exclaimed, "Vishnu, Vishnu." Seeing the Lord's arrogant behavior, he gave him the banana leaves he desired. "Take these banana leaves and go away." My God, how could he say something like that about Ganga? Thus, day after day, the Lord instigated these playful quarrels. Śrīdhara's simple understanding was just, this Brahman boy is extremely fickle and restless. Śrīdhara would eventually say, "All right, I give up. I've lost to you. I'll give you something for free. Excuse me. I'll give you 1 piece of banana bark, 1 piece of the stalk, 1 of the banana flowers. So, do you still find fault in me?" The Lord would reply, "Good, good, bhalo, bhalo. That settles it. No more dispute." Same thing we read in the part in Adi-lila also, right? "No, good, good. That settles it. No more dispute." And daily, the Lord would eat his meals off of Śrīdhara's banana leaves. This is how the Lord relishes things offered by his devotees. Yet, even if crores of opulent items are offered by a non-devotee, the Lord does not even turn his glance toward them. Lord Chaitanya had the intention. He said, "I shall perform this lila." And it was solely for the purpose of facilitating this pastime that Śrīdhara sold banana leaves. Who indeed can truly understand the divine lila exchanged between Vishnu and his Vaishnav devotees? Unless the Lord himself reveals it, no one can know these truths. The Lord caused everyone to remember this principle, this tattva. So, behold my form. Now, this is just a note from me. Now, returning to the pastime of the Lord's 21-hour ecstasy. So the Lord declared, "Śrīdhara, behold my form. Today I shall grant you the 8 great mystic perfections." Lifting his head, the great soul Śrīdhara gazed upon the Lord. He beheld that same Vishvambar, now manifest with a divine complexion, as dark and beautiful as a tamal tree. In his hands, he held the enchanting flute, and to his right stood Lord Balaram. Śrīdhara saw all this manifest before him, pervaded by a magnificent divine effulgence. Goddess Kamala, Lakshmi Devi, offered fresh tambul into his hands, while Chaturmukh Brahma and Panchamukh Shiva stood before him, offering reverential prayers. The great serpent, Lord Anantashesh, held his the great serpent, Lord Anantashesh, held his 1,000 hoods as an umbrella above the Lord's head. Śrīdhara also saw the great sages, Sanak, Narad, and Shukadev Goswami present, offering prayers. All the personified divine energies of the Lord, his consorts, supremely beautiful goddesses, stood on all sides with folded hands, offering eloquent prayers. The moment he beheld that divine vision, Śrīdhara, overwhelmed with astonishment, collapsed on the spot, falling to the ground. Again, he collapsed to the ground, unconscious. "Arise, Śrīdhara, arise," the Lord commanded. Upon hearing the Lord's words, Śrīdhara immediately regained consciousness. The Lord instructed, "Śrīdhara, now offer prayers unto me." Śrīdhara humbly replied, "O Prabhu, I am simply a dull-minded fool. What prayers do I possibly know? What ability do I possess?" The Lord encouraged him, "Your simple words themselves are prayers enough for me." So Śrīdhara Thakur's prayers. At the Lord's command, Saraswati, the mother of the universe, entered Śrīdhara's tongue, and he began to offer prayers. So now we will sing the prayers of Śrīdhara. Jai Jai Mahāprabhu, Jai Vishwambhar, Jai 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 Navadvipa Purandar. All glories to you, Mahāprabhu. All glories to Vishwambar. All glories to you, the Supreme Lord of Navadvip. Jai Jai Ananta Brahmanda Koti Nath, Jai Jai Shachi Punyavati Garbhajata. All glories, O Lord of innumerable crores of universes. All glories to you, born from the blessed womb of the virtuous Mother Shachi. Jai Jai Viragopya, Jai Dvijaraj, Juge Juge Dharma Pala Kori Snana Sajo. All glories to you, who are unknown to the Vedas. All glories, O King among the twice-born. In age after age, you protect eternal religious principles, appearing in various divine forms. Gura Rupe Sambhaila Nagare Nagare, Bina Tumi Janaile, Ke Jani Te Pare. In a hidden form, you wandered from town to town. Unless you reveal yourself, who could possibly recognize you? Tumi dharma, tumi karma, tumi bhakti gyan, tumi shastra, tumi veda, tumi sarva dhyan. You are dharma, you are karma, you are bhakti, and you are gyan. You are the shastras, you are the Vedas, you are the object of all meditation. Tumi siddhi, tumi riddhi, tumi bhoga jog, tumi shraddha, tumi daya, tumi moha lobh. You are mystic perfection. You are prosperity. You are worldly enjoyment and yoga. You are faith. You are compassion. You are even illusion and greed. Tumi Indra, tumi Chandra, tumi Agni Jal, tumi Surja, tumi Vayu, tumi Dhana Bal. You are Indra. You are the moon. You are Agni and Varuna. You are Surya. You are Vayu. You are wealth and strength. Tumi bhakti, tumi mukti, tumi aja bhava, tumi va hoibe kenot, tomari je sab. You are devotion. You are liberation. You are Brahma and Shiva. Yet why speak of you being them? Indeed, They all belong to you. Purve mor sthane tumi apane bolila, tor Ganga dekho mor charana salila. Previously, at my place, you yourself told me plainly. You said, look, your revered Ganga emanates from the water that washes my feet. Tabu mor papachite nahilo smaran, na janilo muitor amulya charan. Yet, even then, remembrance did not dawn in my sinful heart. Alas, I failed to recognize the infinite value of your sacred feet. Tumi korila dhanya gokula nagar, ekhone hoila navadipa purandar. You, who previously blessed the town of Gokul, have now appeared as the supreme lord and master of Navadip. Rakhya vedao bhakti sharira bhitore, heno bhakti navadipe hoilo bahire. Previously, you wandered about keeping bhakti concealed within your body. Now, that very same bhakti has become externally manifest here in Navadip. Bhakti joge bhishma tomar, jinilo samare, bhakti joge yashodai, bhandilo tomare. Through the power of bhakti yoga, Bhishma conquered you on the battlefields. Through bhakti yoga, Mother Yashoda bound you up. Bhakti yoge tomare vechilo satyabhama, bhakti vashe tumi kande koile goparama. Through bhakti yoga, Satyabhama sold you. Controlled by bhakti, you carried the cowherd boy Balaram upon your shoulders. Ananta brahmanda koti vahe jare mane, she tumi Śrīdhama gopa vahila apane. That very you, by whose mere thought countless millions of universes are sustained, personally carried the cowherd boy Śrīdham on your shoulders. Jaha hoite apanar parabhava hoy, she boro gopya loke kahare nakoy. Those instances where one experiences defeat are usually kept most secret. People do not readily speak of such things to others. Bhakti lagi sarvasthane parabhava paya, jiniya bedao tumi bhakti lukaya. Yeah, so those instances where one experiences defeat, they're usually kept most secret. People don't readily speak. They're, embarrassed. They don't want people to know about that. Yet you, for the sake of bhakti, accept defeat in all circumstances. Although you are always victorious, you wander about keeping bhakti hidden. She maya hoilo churna ar nahi lage, hero dekho shakala bhuvane bhakti mage. But now, that illusion of hiding your devotional nature, is shattered. It applies no longer. Behold, look now. Throughout all the worlds, everyone is now begging for that bhakti. Shekale harila jan, dui charistane, ekale bandhivo toma sarva jane jane. In those previous ages, you were defeated by the bhakti of only a few individuals. But in this current age, each and every person will be able to bound you with their loving devotion. Everybody will be able to bound you. The devotee's only desire, hearing these supremely pure words flow from Śrīdhara's mouth, inspired by Goddess Saraswati, all the prominent Vaishnavas present were struck with utter astonishment. The Lord said, Śrīdhara, choose now and ask for your boon. Today I shall bestow the 8 mystic perfections upon you, right before your eyes. Śrīdhara replied, My Lord, are you trying to trick me again? Rest assured, you won't succeed this time. Ar na pariva. You won't be able to succeed this time. You've tricked me enough. So the Lord insisted, Darshan of me never goes in vain. You must certainly receive a boon, whatever your heart desires. Ask, mago, mago. Vishwambar urged him again and again. Śrīdhara finally replied. He said, My Lord, then please grant me this boon. Je Brahmana Kari Nilo Mora Kola Pata She Brahmana Hok Mor Janma Janma Nata. That same Brahman boy who used to snatch away my banana leaves, may he alone be my Lord and Master, birth after birth. Jai Brahmana Mor Shange Korilo Kandal Mor Prabhu Hok Tar Charana Yugal. May that very Brahman who quarreled with me, may he be my only worshipable Lord. May his 2 feet forever be mine. As he continued to speak, Prem swelled within Śrīdhara, and raising both arms, he began to weep loudly. Witnessing Śrīdhara's profound devotion, all the assembled Vaishnavas became overwhelmed and also began to weep. Bestowal of Veda Gopya Bhakti. So smiling gently, Lord Vishwambar declared, he said, "Listen, Śrīdhara, I shall make you the sovereign ruler of a vast and magnificent kingdom." Śrīdhara replied, "I desire absolutely nothing, my lord. O Prabhu, please just make such an arrangement that I may constantly sing your holy names." Mahaprabhu said, "Śrīdhara, you are my eternal servant. You have witnessed all these divine manifestations of mine. Yet, despite seeing all this opulence, your mind remains steady and undeviated. Therefore, I now bestow upon you that pure devotional service, that bhakti yoga, which is concealed even from the Vedas, Veda Gopya Bhakti." Cries of Jai, Jai, all glories resounded throughout the assembly of Vaishnavas as they heard the benediction given to Śrīdhara. Śrīdhara's unseen treasure. I see it's 8:05. We're almost at the end, and we'll stop after this. I think maybe just a few minutes, and then Śrīdhara's unseen treasure. He had no wealth, no followers, and no education. Who can possibly recognize these intimate servants of Lord Chaitanya? Of what use are education, wealth, beauty, fame, or high birth? They simply increase one's pride, and everything essential is destroyed at the root. That supreme treasure, which Śrīdhara obtained simply by selling bananas and banana flowers. Even a billionaire will not glimpse it, though he may strive for billions of years. That's so beautiful. That supreme treasure which Śrīdhara obtained simply by selling bananas and banana flowers, even a billionaire will not glimpse it, though he may strive for billions of years. In material pursuits, there exists only pride and malice. One engrossed in them does not realize that the inevitable result, which comes later, is degradation and falling down. He who laughs at a saintly person, seeing him as poor or ignorant, is cast into the hell of Kumbhipaka by the weight of his own karma. Who possesses the power to truly recognize a Vaishnava? Though all mystic perfections reside within them, externally, they may sometimes appear to be experiencing misfortune. The story of Śrīdhara, the banana leaf seller, stands as a powerful testament to this truth. He embraced bhakti alone, completely disregarding the offer of the 8 great mystic perfections. And there's this very famous verse, which is quoted all the time, very important verse. Jato deko Vaishnaver vyavahar dukha nishchoy jani hoshe parananda sukha. Whatever apparent worldly difficulties or distress you may observe in the life of a Vaishnava, know for certain that internally they are experiencing the highest spiritual bliss. Those who are blinded by the intoxication of material sense enjoyment know nothing of these truths. Puffed up with pride due to their learning or wealth, they fail to recognize a true Vaishnava. Even after reading the Bhagavatam, some people's intelligence remains corrupted. If they dare to blaspheme Lord Nityananda, they will surely head towards destruction. So now here's the conclusion of the chapter, just 3 more verses. Conclusion: by avoiding offenses, one gains Krishna. Whoever listens to this narration of Śrīdhara's prayers and the benediction he received will surely attain the treasure of prem. For one who never blasphemes a Vaishnav, prem bhakti for the Lord's lotus feet awakens in the heart, and he attains Krishna. There is absolutely no positive result from engaging in blasphemy. One only gains sin. Therefore, the most highly fortunate souls never engage in finding fault with others. Aninduka hoye je sakrit Krishna bole, satya satya Krishna tare, udhari bo hele. Whoever stops criticizing and says Krishna even once, truly, truly, satya satya, Krishna will easily deliver that person. At the feet of all the Vaishnavas, I offer my humble obeisances. May Śrī Caitanya and Śrī Nityananda be my very life and soul, accepting Śrī Krishna Chaitanya and the moon-like Nityananda as my life and soul. Vrindavan Das sings the glories of their divine lotus feet. Okay, so that is our reading for today. Tomorrow I will read part 3 of this series, Mahāprabhu's Love for the Unseen Devotee. And today I will be posting on my website part 4. I just need to finish preparing it and then I'll send it out. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it this morning. I'll send it out on this Vine of Devotion mailing list. So thank you so much for joining. And yeah, I'll just do a short Mahamantra and finish for today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Dev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Guru Dev Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swapar Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Jai Shri Khola-vecā Śrīdhara Ki Jai, Śrī Śrīdhara Paṇḍita Ki Jai, Tadiya Shubha Tirobhava Ki Jai, Jai Shri Mukunda Datta Thakur Ki Jai, Tadiya Shubha Tirobhava Ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Dev Snan Yatra Ki Snan Yatra Ki Jai, Snan Purnima Ki Jai, Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ju Ki Jai, Jai Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki Jai, Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai, Śrī Caitanya-charitamrita ki Jai, Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Par ki Jai, Śrī Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, Satyavatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Nitai Mukeshji, Sarveshwari Mataji, Ghanasham Prabhu, and Rihari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji mentioned that they'll be watching later. So Dandavat pranams to both of you. And also to Mohini Didi, Krishnamaya Didi, Vidyalalasa Didi, Shubhananda Prabhu, Indira Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, sorry, I already said Sarveshwari, Raseshwari Mataji, and all devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi and maybe Rohini Nandan Prabhu is there, I don't know. Also Jayadeva Prabhu, Devotee Didi, and all other devotees. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, look forward to reading the rest, the second 2 parts, part 3 and 4 with you tomorrow. And also maybe since we didn't get time to read about Snanyatra and what's Mukunda Datta Thakur, maybe we can also read about them tomorrow. So yeah, all right. Yes, Sarveshwari Mataji.
Yes. I just want to say thank you. Today was like the frame of your program. It was like a window of the transcendental story, like a lila, was like a window of the transcendental lila. So I want to say thank you on the frame of your.
Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's writing is just extraordinary. Like even just from a mundane perspective, just like the story writing, like how he would jump back in time and like just tell the context and then jump back into the story again, like the whole way he described it. And that's just from a mundane perspective. But yeah, it's just, anyways, this is my favorite chapter of Caitanya-bhāgavata, or one of my favorite chapters. It's also actually, Rup Manjari and Rukmini Didi, their mother, Deva Mai Didi, this is her favorite. She passed away now, but this is her favorite chapter of the entire of all of Caitanya-bhāgavata also. Yeah. So all right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Thank you so much. And Jai Śrīdhara Paṇḍita ki Jai. I just moved to Mayapur today, actually. I'm going to be here for maybe 10 days or longer. I don't know how long I'll be here. But I'm wondering, maybe I should go to Śrīdhara Angan. If I do end up going to Śrīdhara Angan, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but if I do, I will share videos of Śrīdhara Angan in our WhatsApp group, our Bhaktivinoda Gita-dhara WhatsApp group. All right. Dandavat pranams. Haribol. See you.